Suicide is painless, as the song goes. Suicide by flinging yourself into the sun, I would imagine that's got to smart a little bit, or at least be a little bit toasty. But that's the idea in Sunburn, a game where you have to guide astronauts with a quite literal death wish into the sun. There is a storyline reason for this. Your spaceship has been struck by a comet, and so everybody on the spaceship, all its entire crew, have been scattered through the stars, left adrift to spin away forever. They just have to wait for their oxygen supplies to run out, and they will die on their own, just floating along. But your job as captain is to bravely fling yourself around space, since you've got the only jetpack, and tether everybody up so that you can all die together. No man left behind. You're going to hurl yourself into the sun, or a flaming comet, or lava, whichever takes your fancy. It's a weirdly dark game. There's not many games that are literally about suicide, or where suicide is the goal. But, everybody here seems very, very cheery about it. The crew sort of give little tutorial tips and say, inane little ponderings as you go and gather them up. And they're quite grateful for being turned into ghosts at the end of it all, as they fly up the screen. So it's more of a sort of always look on the bright side of death kind of thing, than something darkly grim. You almost start to think that the planetoids that some of them are standing on, and that you can drag your crew to, they have breathable atmosphere. I mean, you can recharge your oxygen tank when on them. Maybe some of these have food on. There's a couple of green sprouts here and there. But no, they've admitted defeat somewhat early. They have radio communication as well. Presumably it would take years for the radio waves to reach some kind of help, and that's why they've decided to pack it all in, I guess. But far be it from you to reason why. Here's a puzzle game in reality. You can control your captain by holding down the left and right side of the screen to walk around a planet, and then jump by hitting both sides of the screen together. You will then jump into space, at which point you can redirect yourselves by hitting the left and right sides of the screen again in order to get a little bit of a boost from your jetpack, but boosting with your jetpack spends more oxygen than if you were just floating adrift. So the game is all about different physics, the physics of tethering a long line of people together, the inertia of your jetpack, and then the physics of the physical properties of different planets that you're on. Some planets break on impact, some planets are safe and sturdy, some have lava, and some of them, when you jump on top of them, they themselves have inertia and start drifting across the black void on their own. So it's all about managing those things and guiding some people to their deaths in some interesting and really cool layouts. There's an awful lot of levels in this one, more than 50 in fact for your $2.99, 300 yen or equivalent, and it's all presented in an incredibly cheery and cutesy and appealing manner, with some nice sort of sci-fi bleepy bloopy music and a generally nice cheery feel, which is really interesting for a game that's about taking your own lives. Suicide has never been so warm, I guess, especially when you're flinging yourself into the sun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There are some sections where things get a little bit frustrating, especially when you have to deal with black holes, and your only way to escape those is by jet boosting as quickly as possible, and sometimes timing your both thumbs to hit the screen at the right time can be a little bit tricksy. But all in all, this is a great set of puzzling levels that progress with a curve gentle enough to make you think, but at the same time never get frustrated. It is probably the best fun you'll have killing yourself this year, and it's out on November the 20th on iOS. For a site that burns rather than tans, check out kaijupub.com.